Despite the fact that they were multi-point underdogs to the Los Angeles Chargers, the Denver Broncos went in and broke another streak yesterday in SoFi and absolutely trounced the desperate, backed into a corner Los Angeles Chargers, and we have so much to be excited about here in Broncos Country. That game seemed great yesterday, but it seems even better today. We've got a lot to break down, so let's dive in. First thing I want to point out is that I did a poll about 4 days before the game actually went down, and at that point we were 5-point underdogs to the Chargers, and I just said, hey, what do you think is going to happen in this game? And it is amazing to see that 93% of you thought that the Broncos were going to win, and that 33% of you thought we were going to win, not just like in a close one, but we were going to blow them out, and truly that is exactly what we did. This is definitely a testament to the fact that we here in Broncos Country, we're plugged in. We have seen the culture shift that Sean Payton has ushered in. We've seen that Russell Wilson is a different quarterback than he was under Vic Fangio, under Nathaniel Hackett, and we've seen that this team is absolutely built different and built for a long playoff run, and I cannot wait to see that. So looking at game balls from yesterday, it looked like the vast majority of voters in this poll thought that the offensive line deserved the game ball. We had the NFL sack leader in Khalil Mack, who was held to a blank 0. I had the same defensive production yesterday as Khalil Mack did, so that's kind of exciting. And massive shout out to the Broncos offensive line for doing that. But my vote for this game would have gone to Russell Wilson because looking at his stat line, he had that first early on interception. To me, that seems like that interception should be credited to Mims. I know you can't credit an interception to a receiver, but that seemed more like a weird simultaneous possession or a fumble. The fact that that interception goes on Russ, I don't think is fair. And then if you look at what Russ's numbers would have been had Jeudy just come down with one of the 3 balls he probably should have, and you're looking at Russell Wilson having over 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. That one obvious bomb was an incredible pass that Jerry Jeudy hit his hands as he was going out of bounds and he missed. He didn't drag his toe on that one touchdown, and we settled for 3. And so I think Russell Wilson had a fantastic game yesterday. And outside of that first throw, which I'm sure he would have wanted to put more to the outside, Russell Wilson just played like the guy we hoped we got when we signed him or when we traded for him just 2 years ago. So massive shout out. I think everybody should get a game ball after the game yesterday because that was a great game. So we got another comment on here. Farmer Joe said, yo, I watch your videos every day. Can you go through all the games and see if we make the playoffs and make a video about it? Farmer Joe, I got you, bro. Let's do this. I've been doing that New York Times simulator just like in my sleep. I love going through that and picking the games. I think while right now we have a 51% chance at the playoffs, we're going to the playoffs. Clear your schedule. It's going to happen. And I'm going to show you exactly why right now. Also, real quick thing here. I don't know if this is a big deal or not, but after Russell Wilson beat the Chargers, he birthed a child. Well, he didn't, but his wife Sierra did. So that's very exciting. I might be reading too much into this. He named his daughter Amora. I think he should have named her Judy, just to get back in Jerry Judy's good graces, because we want that connection to work by the time we hit the playoffs. But congrats Russ and Sierra and Amora. That's pretty exciting. So let's dive in here at the Broncos playoff chances. So the New York Times playoff predictor, a great thing. I encourage you go click around on it. It is a ton of fun and it's actually kind of addicting. So right now, 52% chance. And had you told us that at 1 in 5, everyone who doesn't follow this channel would have said, psh, you're crazy, man. But this is the fact. This is where we're at. We have a 52% chance at making the NFL playoffs. Let that sink in for a second. That you flip a coin, give me a 52% chance at making $1 million. I'd be all over that. 52%, I will take it. So first up, we got a big game this weekend against the Detroit Lions. Now, Zach Stevens on DNVR, big fan of that entire network. They do great work at DNVR. He pointed out Sean Payton really, really looks admirably upon Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. Sean Payton was not only his Dan Campbell's coach when he was a tight end in the league, he also hired him and they coached together on the same staff. So I think this could definitely be one of those mentor protege kind of things. We know the Detroit Lions are reeling after losing on Thanksgiving Day at home to the Green Bay Packers. The week before, they probably should have lost to the Bears, and they somehow had a miraculous comeback. They got trounced by the Ravens, and then just last week, they lost to Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. So I think this is the time to play them, but this is the toughest game remaining on our schedule. This is the only game we won't be favored in. So I want to just show quickly here that if we win the games that we absolutely should win in the Patriots, Chargers, and Raiders, and lose this game, that we are still at a 94% chance. So that is just incredible that if we lose to the Lions, which is the only tough game we have left, but we win out the rest of them, we are 94% chance at making the playoffs. And I'm going to show you here down in a second that it's even better than that probably. So I actually want to tell you this, that I think the Broncos are going to beat the Lions on Saturday. I think it's a primetime game. I think the whole league is watching. We are underdogs again, and I think Sean Payton's going to know how to leverage that and make it a chip on all of our players' shoulders that we're just underdogs to a team that we trounced. No one thinks we're going to make the playoffs. Everyone wrote you off. You saw when we were 1-5 and Javonte said, we're going to the Super Bowl, and people thought he was crazy. He wasn't being crazy. Like, he truly believes that. So I think we beat the Lions. We then go on to play the Patriots at home on Christmas Eve. Now, the Patriots came out and they beat the Steelers, but we know that Bill Belichick would love a run at a top quarterback. Mac Jones has not been the quarterback he had hoped, and so I think they're truly trying to lose for Caleb Williams. I think he liked winning on that Thursday night game and showing there's a lot of talk that Mike Tomlin might be a better coach than him, so I think he liked putting it to Mike Tomlin on a Thursday night, but I think in the long run, he doesn't actually want to win, and so that's a win. We then are going to play the Chargers again, this time at home. Can you imagine what it's going to be like in Broncos country and the noise and the atmosphere? Already in SoFi, it was a Broncos crowd. Imagine what that's actually like at Mile High. That's going to be raucous crowd. And there's a very good chance that by then Staley's going to be fired. So sometimes that can work against us because you could see that swing back, and sometimes the week after a firing, the team plays a little harder. But I think that's a win because Herbert has a broken finger. Most likely, everyone is saying he's going to be out for the remainder of the season. They're going to shut him down. So if we're playing that stick guy again, forget about it. That is a guaranteed win. And then the Raiders, yesterday we saw the Raiders tied 0-0 against the Vikings team, who we really destroyed amidst the Dobbs mania. That was a very tough game. They were the hottest team in the league at that time. And we beat them very, very soundly, and that felt incredible. And so the fact that the Raiders had 0 points and ended up losing on a field goal, 3-0, first time in the NFL with that score since like before I was born, shows me that the win at the Raiders at the end is not hard to imagine whatsoever. So winning out, guaranteed we are in the playoffs. Losing to the Lions but winning out, guaranteed that we're in the playoffs. Now, one of the more interesting things to break down is what would it take for us to actually win the AFC West? Now, that is where it gets really, really interesting. So if we win out, kind of coming down here and looking at other things that have to play out for us to win out and to win the AFC West. So if we take a look at who do the Kansas City Chiefs have left on their schedule, they have some pretty easy games. They get to play next week when we play the Lions. They play the Patriots. So like I was saying, if Bill Belichick truly has shut it down, that's going to be a tougher thing. So let's say the Chiefs beat the Patriots. The Chiefs are still up on a one game for us. So then the hope would be that the Chargers fire their coach this week. Then they play the Chiefs the next week on a new coach, and they kind of have that new coach energy, that new coach swing back. And the Chargers are the ones who actually beat the Chiefs in this game right here. So if the Chargers beat the Chiefs and we are tied with them because we've won out, we actually could win that tiebreaker and win the AFC West. So very, very interesting to see if that plays out. If the Chiefs lose one more game and we win out, we could, if the Chiefs lose the right game, they need to lose an AFC West game, then the Denver Broncos could win the AFC West on a tiebreaker. That would just be unreal, unbelievable. But here's what I truly want. And I think I mentioned this in a comment to our main guy, Jeff, one of my favorite commenters on the YouTube channel. I really hope that, like 1998, the Denver Broncos make the playoffs as a wild card. And we kind of have to go on a revenge tour. And we have to go to places that we've lost this year and really redeem our name. And so if we make the playoffs as a wild card, my ideal matchup is we go back into Miami and we destroy that demon and we just show Vic Fangio he can't stop us. We show our former ball boy Mike McDaniels that he can't hang with us, and we wipe that entire memory of the 70 points we gave up off of the memory, because it doesn't matter, because we kick the Dolphins out of the playoffs. And then I would love to go to Arrowhead and break our streak of losing in Arrowhead. We broke our streak of losing to the Chiefs, but it would be awesome to break the streak of losing in Arrowhead. So much to break down this week. We're actually going to go to across enemy lines and talk to Detroit Sports Talk, my main guys who taught me all about how to do YouTube. So I'm excited to talk to them about this upcoming matchup. So much to break down, so much news to cover. Thank you for being along for the ride, and Broncos Country, let's ride.